that driver towing away an ICE SUV during an immigration operation.
U.S. Attorney's Office says Nunez is charged with theft of government property, the whole thing, and his arrest caught on video.
Yeah, so this guy's in very big trouble. Just a few weeks ago, there was a tow truck driver who decided to tow away a federal vehicle belonging to federal agents in the middle of their operation while trying to detain someone.
A popular social media influencer is now in immigration custody, but why is she being detained?
So the tow truck driver and the person who was detained, both of them are in some pretty big trouble. We're going to be talking about all of these new developments. I think you'll find it rather interesting. Now, before we start the video, make sure you please like the video. It's the #1 way you guys are helping this channel, but it also helps others see the videos as well. I also have a free newsletter. Make sure to sign up for this. You can go to my pinned comment, you can go to the link in my description, or use the QR code. Absolutely free, and you guys get updates on the stories we're talking about every single day. Here we go.
A popular social media influencer is now in immigration custody, but why is she being detained?
The confrontation with federal agents live streamed to her audience of thousands.
David Giovanna, it's getting some mixed reaction from people online. 24-year-old Tatiana Martinez was sitting in her car at home when this happened.
Before we talk about the tow truck driver, we have to talk about Tatiana, because without Tatiana, we don't even have the tow truck driver. Basically, Tatiana is a well-known TikToker and social media influencer. What she's known for is basically videotaping or recording Homeland Security agents and other federal agents in the middle of their operations and spreading awareness of their location. Now, this is very crucial because according to the lawyer of Tatiana, the content that Tatiana was posting is the real reason why she was detained.
Video shows this woman getting yanked out of her Tesla by federal agents. No! This angle is from Tatiana Martinez's phone inside her car as agents were pulling her out. She was live streaming on TikTok at the time.
The reason she didn't come out is these are masked men, and they said they had a warrant. She just wanted them to display it. Show me the warrant, and they never displayed anything.
Her attorney says it happened while she was parked at her apartment building in downtown LA. He believes they detained her because she was using her platform with more than 47,000 followers to record and report ICE activity.
I promise we will get to the tow truck driver, but I really want to set this up for you guys because Tatiana, yes, she was posting some pretty questionable content. However, she's also an illegal immigrant. She got busted with a DUI, and she was already told she has to leave the country. This is the reason why Homeland Security went after her. But again, according to her lawyer, what he suspects is that Homeland Security was upset with the content she was posting.
We believe at this point, based on things that have been said to her, is that because she was out filming ICE activities, she was targeted.
Her attorney says she passed out due to trauma and was taken to the hospital. Martinez, who was originally from Colombia and came to the U.S. about 4 years ago, was then taken to a detention center in Calexico.
I've gone out there to visit her. It's about a 3.5-4 hour drive there and back. So I went there to visit her. She was really happy to just see someone. I can tell you that I could still see bruises on her body from the arrest.
Tricia McLaughlin, Assistant Secretary with the Department of Homeland Security, telling Newsweek that Martinez was arrested because of a prior DUI conviction in LA.
Here is the reality of the situation. Homeland Security is on TikTok. We know this because in my own videos over in Portland, the Homeland Security officers will say the names of the TikTokers who are filming them during their protest, which means Homeland Security officers are well aware of who's filming them and what people are doing on the internet. But specifically Tatiana, I mean, she became famous in Los Angeles for specifically leaking or showing the information of where these officers were operating. So I don't think Homeland Security went after her specifically for the content, but they were probably made aware of, hey, just so you know, there's this random person named Tatiana who's filming all of you guys. Oh, Tatiana, she's not supposed to be in the country. She had a DUI and we can deport her. That's what I actually think happened.
But Martinez's attorney says he still believes they came after her because she was using her platform.
There has been nothing that's been stated to her by the arresting officers that stated that it was because of the DUI.
And we reached out to DHS for an updated statement about Martinez, but did not hear back. David?
Okay, so now we're going to talk about the tow truck driver. I thought it was very crucial to set up the situation and show that this tow truck driver might now lose his whole career and go to prison because of what he did over somebody who's already going to get deported anyway. Okay, so that was the raw footage, and again, you could see Tatiana was being arrested, and this tow truck driver decided, I'm going to tow away this federal vehicle. Now, there have been reports of other tow truck drivers who were trying to tow away federal vehicles within the last few months, but finally we actually have it on footage, and now we have a driver who is going to be in some trouble.
News just 5 minutes ago, we learned a tow truck driver has been released on bond. This here video from the government shows what it says is that driver towing away an ICE SUV during an immigration operation.
Hi, Michael. That court hearing wrapped up about 30 minutes ago, and we have learned that the judge ordered to release Bobby Nunez on a $10,000 bond. He did not enter a plea today. We tried to speak to his family in court today, but we were unsuccessful. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Nunez is charged with theft of government property, the whole thing, and his arrest caught on video.
Here's what's interesting about this story. I don't think anyone would have known this even happened if Tatiana wasn't recording during her live stream and onlookers weren't filming as well. I'll give you a prime example. I'm trying to work on a different story where a woman literally tried to drive ICE agents off the road. She crashed into a ditch, and nobody is talking about this. It's been since August 28th. There's no videos on it. There's no major news outlets talking about this, but I'm trying to show you guys. If people don't film what's going on and they're quiet, people don't know that this happens all the time, where people are really going out of their way to try and disrupt Homeland Security operations.
This video shared by the Department of Justice showing agents leading a man away in handcuffs. 33-year-old Bobby Nunez, a tow truck driver from South LA, was arrested today and appeared in federal court.
And by the way, he is an American citizen. This is not an illegal immigrant helping out an illegal immigrant, but there's a lot more to this case than just towing away a federal vehicle. Check this out.
The feds say he illegally stole a government SUV during an immigration enforcement arrest last month. The incident was captured on this video, also posted online by U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley. It all started here on August 15th at the exit of the Da Vinci Apartments off Temple Street and Fremont Avenue. According to court documents, federal agents were in the process of arresting a woman from Colombia they say was in the country illegally.
Again, she was here illegally, which is why a lot of people are scratching your heads. If you're in the country illegally and your whole branding is, I'm going to antagonize and film and mock the Homeland Security agents who could deport me. I mean, there's a lot of people even on TikTok and social media saying, hey, look, I don't support deportations, but this was obviously going to happen.
Documents state the officers used 2 government cars to box in the woman's car. Then documents allege Nunez approached the woman's car and started pressing the passenger side door on an officer.
So right here, the tow truck driver decided, I'm going to get involved with this situation. I don't know his relationship to the other illegal immigrant, Tatiana, who's being deported, but he decided to walk up on the scene and start taking the passenger door and start pressing it up against a Homeland Security officer. So off the bat, that's charge number 1.
At some point, documents then say Nunez got into a white tow truck and towed one of the government SUVs, which had keys and a gun locked inside. Here's legal analyst Royal Oakes on the consequences Nunez could face.
This is a serious case. The feds are saying that by stealing a government law enforcement car, he could go to prison for up to 10 years and maybe 8 years in addition to that for striking an officer.
Documents state HSI agents were able to track down and identify Nunez via videos posted on social media.
This part right here is where I don't think people realize Homeland Security and federal agents, they are scanning the internet 24/7. There are dedicated agents who are watching these videos, tracking down people. This is how a lot of times federal agents, like we're seeing here, have to track down criminals who are doing harm to other federal agents, especially during times of protest. Not the protest itself. Protesting is fine. That is defended and legal under the Constitution. But sometimes if protesters want to throw rocks at federal agents, you will see them on these videos. Even in my own YouTube videos, I have to use the videos of protesters to get the full picture. So if I'm doing it, of course investigators are doing the exact same thing, but for different purposes here.
This is not typical where the defendant actually provided the evidence in the form of video and TikTok postings. That suggests that the defense could argue he wasn't intending to be a criminal. He was simply protesting what he saw as overreach by ICE.
See, and this is where we get into crossing that line. Sure, you can protest, and Tom Homan, out of every single person in the Trump administration, always says, I want you to protest, I want you to hate me, that's fine, you can do all of that, but you cannot cross the line. If they were just sitting on their cameras and saying, you guys stink, we hate you, we don't like you guys, that's fine, but now you are bringing a tow truck into the situation and pulling the federal vehicle away. Now you just lost half of your life into prison.
Again, Nunez could face up to 10 years in federal prison if convicted here. His arraignment has been set for September 29th.
And guess what? I do think he will be convicted for this full time. I really do. This is not Portland. Believe it or not, Los Angeles, they don't like things like this. Even the Metro Police are cracking down on these situations. And Gavin Newsom just made not a new law, but a new order to crack down on crime across the entire state, especially in places like Los Angeles. So I do think he's going to be in trouble. He has two major charges that are literally on video. You have a charge of assaulting an officer, and you have a charge of pulling the tow truck away. And also, if these federal officers wanted to, they could make the case of obstruction, but they didn't do that. It looks like they went all the way to the top and did the heaviest things they could do to this man in order to put him in prison for a very long time. Okay, I want to go back to the Tatiana case. I'm going to be honest with you. I was not that familiar with Tatiana. I didn't know about Tatiana, but what I did know is that social media influencers were out there who were filming and documenting Homeland Security agents. So I went straight to the source of TikTok, and I wanted to see what other TikTokers were saying about Tatiana. Generally speaking, the mass majority of people reacting to this story, they're not understanding why Tatiana did what she did. This is from New York Made, if you want to go give her a follow. Here's what she had to say, but again, I really want to point out, if you look up Tatiana and look at the response videos, pretty much everyone is saying this exact same thing.
Tatiana, come to the front, please. Did you really believe that you was gonna expose these ICE agents, give out all their personal information, and get away with it? These are federal agents. Just as you have access to their information, they have way more access to yours. You can't come to somebody else's country and tell them how to run it. You definitely can't come to somebody else's country and encourage people to attack, stalk, and harass federal agents for trying to do their job.
And this is why I think her lawyer suspects that the federal agents were not fans of the content. And again, I will actually agree with the lawyer of Tatiana. I don't think the federal agents were fans of her content as well, because Homeland Security has made it clear they don't like when people film them in the context of trying to expose what they're doing. They don't care. If you want to film them, that's fine. If you're in the area, film them. You're allowed to do that. But if your intention is to expose the federal agents with the intent of obstruction or helping other people escape the area so they're not arrested, that's where Tatiana got into gray water. And obviously a lawyer knows this, and this is why the lawyer is probably saying what he's saying. I agree with him. I think Homeland Security, they're not happy with Tatiana, but where I don't agree with him, I don't think she was arrested for the content. I think the content just helped them find Tatiana or use some justification to arrest Tatiana.
Her actions are the reasons why they are trying to deport these criminals. You are a criminal. Do you see how fast you got located? These agents are not playing with you. And I know you thought you was untouchable and wouldn't be found so fast. However, If it's one thing these federal agents are known for, it's definitely tracking somebody down and finding.
This TikToker is spot on. Homeland Security has really identified where protesters are getting very confident on social media. It's one thing to protest, but then it's another thing to be an illegal immigrant like Tatiana and protest the way she was protesting. When you go through her page, when you look at what she was posting through her live streams, we're talking about very detailed reports. How many agents there are, what direction they're heading in, warning signals, warning signs, don't go here. So obviously you're going to be on the radar of Homeland Security. As far as American citizens doing the exact same thing, technically speaking, you are now in this gray area. It's one thing to film Homeland Security officers, but when you post on your social media, avoid the area, you have 5 cops at this specific street address, at this specific time, I will be tracking them. That's where you can get into trouble. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. By the way, we already talked about the tow truck driver situation on my newsletter, which is absolutely free. Again, you can use the QR code like you see right next to me. You can go to the link in my description or go to my pinned comment. Absolutely free, and I give you guys daily updates on stories just like this and other stories where I don't have time to make YouTube videos about. Thank you guys so much for everything. God bless, and we'll see you all later.